With more than 10.5 billion mobile app and website visits per year, Zillow is one of the most widely used real estate platforms in the country. That makes it an ideal place to feature your rental property vacancies. But if you've never used the platform, it can be tough to figure out how to list your rental property on Zillow, especially if you want to stand out in competitive markets. That's why I've created this video to help you. I'll be providing a step-by-step instruction for listing properties on Zillow to help you take full advantage of the platform's massive user base. Welcome back, Loopers. My name is Sydney, and I'm a content creator here at Doorloop. Now, before diving into how to list your properties, let's talk about what a rental property listing includes. First is eye-catching photos. Recently, the National Multifamily Housing Council asked 221,000 renters what they consider when choosing a place to live. Price was obviously the #1 factor of what renters looked at, but property appearance was number 2. This underscores why it's important to include excellent photos in your rental property listings. People often browse through sites like Zillow by looking at pictures of apartments and clicking on the ones that look best to them. If you don't have nice photos of the unit, it'll be tough for the listing to perform well, even if every other part of the listing is perfect. Another thing you should include is an intriguing, informative title. After price and photos, most apartment hunters look at the title of your listing. Your title needs to be catchy and stand out. When writing a title for new listings, it's best to include things like the price, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, the neighborhood, and any unique features. Another thing to include is an accurate description. This will be in the body of your listing. This is where you want to include all of the features that set your vacancies apart from others in the area. Try to use descriptive language to really make the listing come alive. You'll also want to include rental policies, security deposits, and restrictions. This will also be in the body of your rental listing. For example, you should let people know whether you accept pets or not. You should tell them what their security deposit will be and if you have any restrictions on how they'll be able to use the property after they move in. And of course, you want to show off any attractive destinations nearby. If the rental property is in a central location, you might talk about its walkability and proximity to restaurants, coffee shops, and bars. Or if the property is rural, you could talk about the quiet neighborhood and nearby parks. Every area has something unique about it worth talking about, even if it's just easy to find street parking and fast access to the freeway. Make sure to highlight what makes your property's area special to appeal to as many people as possible. So now that we've covered the core features of a great rental property listing, it's time to learn how to list your rental property on Zillow specifically. So here are step-by-step instructions to get you started. The first thing you need is a Zillow Rental Manager account, which is free to create. However, you will be charged either weekly or for a flat 90-day fee for each property you list. Once you created a Zillow Rental Manager account, you can add the rental property that you want to list. You'll be asked to provide the following pieces of information: the rent price, the security deposit amount, basic property details such as square footage and number of bedrooms, and the date your property is available. Completing this step is fairly self-explanatory. Simply input the information where it's requested and you'll be ready to move to step 2. Step 2 is listing the amenities that your property offers by ticking the appropriate boxes under Amenities and Rules heading. This is fairly self-explanatory as well. Simply click on the boxes next to the amenities the unit has and leave the others blank. You will have the opportunity to provide more details in this next step, which is writing the property description. We covered the details of what should be included earlier in this video. For example, your property description should have information about nearby destinations, any standout features of the rental property, details about rental policies, security deposit information, desired lease length, qualification criteria, and any other details you think would be useful. One thing to note here is that your description actually can have an impact whether or not your property shows up when people search for a specific feature on Zillow. For example, if someone looks up fenced backyard, your vacancy may only show up if you actually include those words in the description. Next up is adding photos of your property and a 3D virtual tour to really help your rental property stand out. Try to take high definition photos with great lighting to make the place look as good as it can. It's possible nowadays to create a 3D virtual tour with a standard smartphone and a cheap attachment, so you should be able to film one even if you're trying to cut down on cost. And the next step is to share your contact information. Try to give applicants as many ways to reach you as possible and avoid any communication issues. At this point, your Zillow listing is basically done, but you may still want to consider advertising the property to drive more attention to it. There are plenty of ways to advertise rental properties for free, but Zillow also has paid options that place your apartment at the top of of the list for search results of potential renters. You'll have to weigh the pros and cons of this type of advertisement to decide whether it's right for you. See, Zillow acquired Trulia in 2015, so now any listing that's posted on Zillow's platform is automatically syndicated to Trulia within 24 hours. No additional steps are required on your end, just post the listing to Zillow and it'll also be on Trulia within 1 day. Listing your properties on Zillow isn't very complicated, but what if you want to put the same listing on every apartment platform? Now that'll take a while and it's incredibly inconvenient. And how about sharing customized applications with interested applicants? One that allows you to add to multiple listing platforms at once? Then Doorloop is your answer. It gives the ability to share listings across multiple sites with just a few clicks, create and share custom applications, and find the best tenants with streamlined applicant screening processes. Doorloop is an all-in-one property management software too, so once you find a tenant, you can continue using Doorloop to communicate with them, accept rent payments, keep track of finances, manage maintenance requests, and so much more. So click the link in the description for a free demo and to learn about how we can help you get more out of listing your properties and units on platforms like Zillow. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also check out this playlist for more rental advertising tips, and I will see you in the next one.